Hello, guys. This is Mind, Body, and Goals, and I am Tiffani R. Singz here at Boss Up Houston Network. It is so exciting. This is show 10, guys. Woo! So, guys, we have an awesome show tonight. We have some real topics that we want to talk about. We are talking about the injustices that we're experiencing as women of color. And I have an awesome guest here, Councilwoman Arnetta Hicks Murray. Woo! And I also have my best friend who came in from Baton Rouge, Ashley Washington. She will be here in a few moments. She is not ready for this traffic in Houston, but
neither are we. Neither are we.
Exactly. So we want to thank you guys for tuning in every Friday at 7 p.m. We thank you for your support. If you would like to donate, please send your donations to the Cash App, Tiffani R. Singz. It's there for this on the screen for you. So we will take those donations. We have to maintain the production here at the studio and for every show. And if you want to advertise, please contact Boss Up Houston Network. They have wonderful advertising packages. So I want to get right into this topic tonight, and I titled it The Breaking Point, because I'm sure that we all right now have either gotten to that point, we feel like we almost there, yes. We know somebody that has been there, so I want to talk about that tonight. But first, Councilwoman, just tell us how you feeling tonight.
Oh, I am good. I am, in spite of all the adversity that we're dealing with as African American women and people, we're still blessed. Yes. And what we have to do is we're going to have to just work harder to ensure that this injustice stops. Right. Period. Right. Period. Right. And
I'm glad that you're here tonight. Thank you for coming. I want to talk about, I ran into some people this week, that were complaining about their state and where they are. And I said, we can complain all day, but what planning have we done?
Absolutely.
A lot of things that happen in our lives, we see it later. In early 40s, 50s, we start to get the picture that we should have done some things differently in our 20s. Now we are faced with injustice. We don't have certain privileges that others have, but sometimes we fail to prepare.
Absolutely.
And I had to tell this person, what did you do in your 20s? Were you out there just wasting time? Yes, yeah. Because, I tell anybody, we some folks, they if you have a degree, they say you act different or you acting bougie because you got a degree. But we need a degree to have a leg up. Because it's not about, I'm better than you. I got a degree, or I got these degrees. Now for those, we do have some people that they're doctors and I used to be, but I'm Dr. such and such now. We shouldn't take that tone. I do respect those who have gone through the schooling and gotten these titles, because it takes hard work.
Yeah, it is.
But we need these degrees to have a leg up in this society, so that we can be educated and make these better decisions, and not be so served injustice because we don't know the law, we don't know education, we don't know different things. So how do you feel about that as black women?
Well, first of all, I got a late start in the political realm as well. So that's really no excuse. It's just what I did, because at the time I was married, had 5 kids. So your focus is so pulled, if you will. Right. So basically, what I did after, I went through, I'll say this, I'm not ashamed of my divorce, I started getting into the political world because the climate started changing, and because I wanted to make a difference. Right. Now, how do you do that? First of all, it's just what Derek Muhammad...
Now, wait a minute. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Did y'all hear this lady say she had 5 kids? Can y'all take a look at her? God has blessed you and graced you. Amen.
That is God. They're grown and gone.
You look awesome.
I give God the glory.
But you were talking about, you got to start late. And
yeah, but see, this is what I want people to know. You just need to start. And what I did, I just started protesting. It was called No Justice, No Peace 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. And I kept on and I kept on. And I remember what Derek Muhammad said. I said, how do I become a community activist? He said, get in the community and be active. I said, well, how do I do that? Research. You Google everything else, and I never forget that. So I started Googling if it's events that I was interested in or causes that I was interested in. I will Google those causes and be a part of that.
Right.
So it's never too late. Even though at 20s, I messed up in my 20s too. I messed up in my 30s.
Right.
But I'm 54, and so I just got in the game 4 years ago.
Wow.
But it's really, you have to work. You want to make a difference. And I didn't think it was going to be this bad when you have a president that wants you to go back to the 1930s.
Okay.
And you want to be slaves. I don't know.
Right.
But I'm glad that I did do it. And how do you do it? You get out, you vote. And people say, oh, voting don't matter because of the electoral college.
Oh, Lord.
That is not true. And if you believe that, then this is my next my next request. Go and learn about your legislators.
Right.
They are on Google, and you email them. You call them.
Exactly.
You start getting involved, and that's just the bottom line. And again, I can't say how important it is. You guys got to vote.
And you know what? And I know I'm feeling you, mm-hmm. because what did our ancestors mm-hmm. do all of this for?
Wow.
What did Rosa Parks sit for? What did Martin Luther King march for? What was Malcolm X trying to tell us?
Medgar Evers. I mean, what about that?
What were they trying to do?
Right.
And we don't want to go vote.
Right.
Now, yes, we know about the electoral college. We know, if you've been to school, you know the makeup. Okay, yeah, we got the popular vote. We got the electoral college. We got, other people. Because, in education, I'm going to use that. In education.
You know about education.
We vote as teachers.
Yes, we do, don't we?
But that vote still got to go through the administration team.
It does. Yeah.
So, I don't, people still, they don't use your right to vote.
Absolutely.
Because your voice still needs to be heard. Mm-hmm. So if you don't use something, mm-hmm. it can be taken away.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. And you have to understand this. Even when you vote, if it does not go your way, that's okay. Guess what? That gives me more leverage to talk about the things that didn't go. Well, you know what? I voted, so I can say this. I have an issue with people that don't vote and yet still complain.
Right.
And again, even in our churches, we do vote, don't we? We vote for pastors, don't we?
Yes.
And then there are some pastors that some people didn't vote for, but guess what? Ultimately, he's still the leader. Exactly. And you might not like him, but you're going to respect him.
Respect him. Yeah. Right. And so, how is this journey? What do you have coming up in the political realm? And what are your ideas? One of your ideas that you're wanting to do?
Well, first of all, I got in it because I was I live in Brazoria County, and mm-hmm. I ran for county commissioner in laws, and then I ran for school board to Avon ISD in laws. Okay. And then I was appointed to the city of our colony council because they saw how I ran my race.
Come on now.
So it's a lot of times we don't lose, we learn.
Okay.
So remember that when you're running, you need to run for office too. But anyway, because if you notice, I put on my post, teachers need to replace senators because teachers, we get paid less, but we do more. They get paid more, and what are they doing?
Sitting down,
doing nothing,
chilling.
Yeah, so we know how to make stuff happen. So I'm running for office. I'm up. My election is re-election. Thank God is November the 3rd. It has been a wonderful experience to learn how the scope of government works. Mm-hmm. And even though it's a small jurisdiction where I'm at, it is power packed. It is amazing. And so I've learned so much that you can't pay. And I have a master's degree, but what I've learned hands on, it's priceless. It's priceless.
Yes.
So I have that. I'm doing a lot of my thing is right now is just focusing, getting my name out in the city of our colony. Arnetta Murray. But Remember, I'm a Rotarian. Remember, I'm a choir director.
Okay, come on.
Remember,
You a singer.
Okay, come on.
Remember, you a director.
Come on,
okay?
minister.
Okay, remember, yes, you a mother of 5.
Yes,
you know.
Yeah, yes.
So,
Remember.
so I want we're talking about the many hats that women of color and women all over in any nationality, the many roles we have. What made you decide? And you said you had a divorce.
Yes, ma'am.
Why didn't you do it before?
I think at the time I always thought about it, but because I had so many hats to wear.
Right.
And then you think, I don't want to do it because, my life ain't been the best perfect and all that.
Right.
Well, God cleared the way on some things.
Right.
And guess what? I did that. Sometimes what we do, we jump into relationships quicker than we jump into finding ourselves.
Come on now.
So I had to find myself.
Yeah.
And I'm not ashamed to say it. I had to find myself through God and take time. And then He kept pushing me in this direction. So again, we as women, we think, and I'm not knocking, let me say something. Eventually I will get married again. Let me say that.
Right.
But you first need to find yourself and find out what you will accept or don't accept.
Exactly.
And then when and I think what really hurt when Trayvon Martin got killed. I had a son his age.
Yeah.
So everything I do, I relate to me.
Exactly.
And it just, are we going to just sit here and just keep letting the injustice and the more we get quiet, the worse it gets.
Right.
Silence to me, silence with no action means you agree.
Right. Now, and now you said some things, and I'm going to go back.
Go ahead, Mom.
I think my best friend is here, ready for us.
Okay.
But look, you said you had to find yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
We jump into relationships. We don't know ourselves. And then you jump into the relationship and then you start taking on the role of the wife, the mother. But you haven't accomplished some things that you wanted to because you're trying to be the best mom and wife that you can be. I think that's important.
Absolutely.
As for us educating our young ladies of any nationality. You know what I'm saying? They all worry about, my boyfriend, this and that. No.
Right.
Because get something in your head.
That's right.
So that you know and you have goals and focus.
Absolutely.
So when you get in that relationship or that marriage, you don't lose yourself.
Absolutely.
Because how many women they get into relationships and marriages and they get depressed. Or I wish I had done this.
Right. And because of the lack of support sometimes from your mate.
Right.
You have to still keep what I've learned, the mistakes I've made, keep your individuality, but remember to be as loving and as positive as you possibly can.
Right.
Don't lose yourself.
Don't lose yourself.
That's all.
And you know what I did, and because my life has totally changed because I have a son as well. But when it was my husband and I only, things could be a little different. Now I have a son, so I'm looking at, okay, how is he going to react when he goes to school? What is he going to have to, how am I going to have to be a mother to him to help him because of the things that I see.
Good thinking.
Because the kids don't know unless we tell them.
Absolutely.
So I got to be like, son, when you get to the school, somebody might not like you just because of how you look. Because your skin is not light enough.
I had to learn the hard way. We have tried to protect our children. And the sad thing about it, I am sorry. The mistake I made, this is a fallen world. Protect your children from the ills of this world and know how to react when those ills come. Because you're right. They're not going to like you. Right. You're right. And sometimes mom and dad not going to be there because they still got to go to school and we got to what? We got to work.
Exactly.
That's what I didn't do right enough. Sometimes, and I love what you said. I want to make sure my sons, some parents just do what they want. They don't care what their kids see. Exactly. You can't do that. You got to set an example. And a lot of these parents, my age included, want to live like they're young.
Right.
They're not setting no example for their children. And then when they do mess up, let's say we do mess up. Go back and say, you know what? I was wrong. Exactly. Don't do it this way because if you do A, B, C, D, F will happen.
Exactly. And why, my parents, or I say my dad, he would tell us things, we couldn't do this, we couldn't do that. We didn't know why.
Right, you need to know why.
And it was like, oh man, he's so strict, know. But now I know why.
Absolutely.
So it's important as we're bringing the kids up,
Absolutely.
even teaching the kids,
Absolutely.
because some of the kids we teach don't have guidance at home.
That's true.
Okay, baby girl, that one that you talking to,
That one, right.
he been in too much trouble.
Right, right.
You need to get in the books.
Right, that's right.
And I think that if we had educators, and a lot of us do, but we have some educators, they just worried about the book and not the life lesson.
Right, absolutely.
Because like you said, the kids are with the teachers or not at home with the parents. They're gone with 8 or 9 hours a day. So who is your child? Whose care is your child in?
Who's influencing your child?
Right.
That's right.
So we as educators and leaders, when we have the contact with the youth in our community, in the schools, try to help them socially.
Right, right.
Because that's who's coming up after us.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So, and I love what you said, you know. I love what you said, you know, you thought that, well, you didn't think it was the right time, but you still, you had to wait because you just were trying to do, you had so many hats. So we're going to talk about those hats.
Okay.
You know, you got hats as a professional. You have hats as a mother.
Keep talking.
As a wife. You know, and it's so many hats, we're not going to get to go through all of them. But could you tell us, before I bring my friend on,
Okay.
Some of the hats that you cook really well.
She told me how my business.
She cooks really well. She has this gumbo and some other things. I always saw you posting.
Yeah.
And your kids love, and you were just doing. You know, you were very active.
Right,
you know,
right,
caring for your family. What is it? Something that you did that you would say I would have not taken so much time to do, while you were married? Or
I would, complaining and not grateful.
Okay.
Sometimes we think that our situation is so bad, and it really isn't. So it's about your thinking and your perspective. And sometimes you let the wrong influences, you got to watch who you hang with, and get to you, and you think it's this and that. And I think that's what I messed up on, and listening to the wrong people, and then taking in, and then what I took in, it came out in the wrong way. So I had to learn that.
Right. The influences.
Right. That's
you know, we talk about the rap music. You know, the song that Cardi and whoever that is has. It's just totally degrading. And our young ladies are listening to it, jamming to it, talking about it. But y'all can't multiply decimals. You know, y'all can't add.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's not uplifting.
Right. Yeah.
So we could talk about it, and I'll put this out there. The rap game, the motive changed 15, 20 years ago.
Right.
They said this is what we want y'all to rap about, because we know in their minds we know the black community gonna listen to it, because they were trying to get rid of us a long time ago. But we as black people are not so smart to realize that they are feeding this stuff to us.
Negativity.
So the negativity is taking over. We can't go vote because we listening to the rap.
Right.
We can't go vote because we smoking it up. You know, we can't go vote because we popping the pills. I'm just gonna be real.
Be real. That's real. That's right.
You know,
right. We put our energy into the wrong things.
Right.
And the thing is that we gotta be real, guys. We've had enough. You've drunk enough. You've done weed enough. You've had enough women.
Wait, say that again. You've drank enough.
You've drunk. I said drunk. I'm just gonna say it right.
You've drunk enough.
And you've had enough sex. You've had enough weed. I need you to keep your focus and get our people together.
Right.
Bottom line, let me tell you something. I tried to tell my son that. I said, look, if you go ahead and get rich and do what you're supposed to do the right way, you can do a lot in your privacy of your home.
Correct.
But right now, you're putting too much emphasis on the wrong thing.
Right.
And to you, and because you're putting emphasis on the wrong thing, your thinking is warped, and that's why you won't take some issues or some stands that need to be taken. See, and that's what. If you want to know how a person is, watch who they hang with.
Okay. Now, and you know what? One other thing I'm gonna say. Okay, we're not gonna talk about the folks that have spent $3,000, $4,000, $6,000 on Jordans, but you don't have a place to live, and they all packed up in your trunk because you don't have a place to live. Where is the mindset?
Right.
Okay?
Right.
But then somebody break into your car, they done took your Jordans. Right. Well, you done spent $6,000, you could have had an apartment.
Misplaced values. This is me. Let me tell you this. I would rather have a house than a Mercedes-Benz. Okay. Because now, I believe in abundance, right? But you got some people, they have a Lexus and living in, I'm just being honest, because the misplaced value.
Exactly.
A car depreciates. Home never depreciates.
Right.
Get you a home and it's
get
all
you that
your
equity.
value. Yes. Now go get you. Now listen to this. Go get you a good used certified. If you gotta have a BMW, whatever, do that.
Right.
But to spend $45,000,
no.
And you know you don't even make but 25. And you're trying to impress everybody who don't care about you anyway.
Right.
And I gotta say this, and I'm even in the realm of politics and church, you're gonna have some people that's not gonna like you.
Come on.
And I didn't teach my kids, and you still have to fight amongst those wolves. You can either say, forget it. I don't care if you are a football player. I don't care if you running what are you doing in the back? You're doing video. You're gonna have some people that no matter what's not gonna like you.
Exactly.
You gotta still persevere.
Right.
And I want to say that we as black people, we give up because somebody don't. You know what? Sometimes it's not. Sometimes your skin folk ain't your kin folk.
Okay.
So you got to be honest with it. We can't quit blaming the white man for everything.
Right.
Go ahead.
When you have you're touching on it. This is anointed. This show is anointed. Because of your spirit too.
Oh, it's you.
But because you said. People they're not gonna like you, right? We're trying to impress people who they don't care if we make it or not.
Yes.
So you going broke for them, and they don't care if you make it. They still not gonna like you.
They're not going to like you, and so do you.
Right.
I think you're a very beautiful black woman. But
Thank you.
Other women aren't gonna say that. They just gonna look at you up and down and be jealous. See, when a woman look at me up and down, and I know I look good, but you can't tell me I look good, you got some issues.
And that's true. Because but hold up, how do we get to that point where we can tell ourselves, I look good?
Yeah.
Because sometimes we didn't hear it, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So when you get to that point, then you're able to know, okay, I got to make myself look good.
That's right.
I know I look good.
That's right.
And honey, you can't tell me, but I know I look good.
Yes, exactly.
And so on that note, guys, we're going to go to a commercial. Thank y'all for tuning in. Please share this tonight. And we're going to bring in Miss Ashley Washington. And we're going to come back and have some more conversation.
Is it?
Wanna be a boss? You're watching Boss Up Houston Network. It's Boss Up Houston, where we look up, stay up, and boss up.
Hello, guys. We are back. This is Mind, Body, and Goals. I'm your girl, Tiffani R. Singz. I have my bestie, the one that I bothered at Southern University. She did not want to talk to me, but I made her.
Absolutely.
I'm so glad you made it, sis. So glad you made it. And we're talking about the many hats that women wear. And I want to talk about being a mom. Because I'm a mom now.
She's excited.
Being a mom and what we have to do just to keep it together. Mm-hmm. Now, men, I hope you watching tonight because I love y'all. But the woman, okay, holds that glue, right? Yeah. She's the glue. Mm-hmm. Some of them will admit it and some of them won't. But, you know, we see things a different way. Right. You know, than men. So, what do you have? And my friend, tell us about your kids.
Well, 3 beautiful children. Yes. I have a 14-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 2-year-old. So I have the best of all worlds because it's not the both of worlds.
Right.
And it's been an amazing ride. Once you think you're finished, you start over.
Right.
Yeah. You learn throughout each child's personality. You learn how to not just be a forceful parent, but an adaptable parent.
Right.
Sometimes you have to try to parent in a different way.
Right.
Not just this is what you're gonna do. This is what I say and this is it. Right. Sometimes you have to take a different approach. You have to listen to that child. Being the fact that I have a teenager now, I'm learning that. Yeah. It's been a tremendous struggle, right, but it's been a good one. I'm learning her. I'm learning more about teenagers. I'm learning a different world. So being a teenager, that's totally opposite from having a teenager.
and we're talking about that age range where we're educating them right now. I work with 7th and 8th graders. That stage where they are is a very very important stage. They're, want to be cool. They want to be in. Their peer pressure, am I pretty? Am I popular? Things that I can relate to. We all went through. Thinking about those middle school times. And I think the most important thing is to let them know that they're loved. That they are beautiful or they are handsome, no matter what cruel kids may say at this time in their life, because a lot of kids like to pick on each other, and that's a whole nother bracket of bullying and all of that. But that goes back to what you said about when we know that we're beautiful and that we are confident in ourselves, then we won't let those things bring us down. And you're doing an awesome job.
But that's not my only baby. I work with kids that are from the age of 12 up into 21. So I work in adolescence. So it also helps me with my home life with my own child, because I get to see things a totally different way. Because not only do kids deal with bullying and peer pressure, they also deal with home life. Some kids don't have as much as other kids do. So when they come to school, they have to embark on what the peer says I'm supposed to be like. What this image I'm supposed to take on, and including social media, which then takes over a whole lot of other things.
Right. So you work with those kids. How do you help them on a day-to-day? Just give us one little situation.
So my kids are special kids. I love them. Most of my children deal with depression, anxiety, things that you would think that a 12-year-old would not deal with. Right. I was that 12-year-old, unfortunately. I lost my mother at the age of 12. Right. And God put me in this place where I am right now for a reason. Not because of I just applied for the job. I applied for a job that was in pediatrics, but I was moved into a position where God has now like opened my eyes that this is where you need to be. This is who you need to be ministering to. This is who you need to be pouring into, because at that age I did not have that.
Right.
I had a grandmother that took me to church.
Yeah.
But I didn't understand it. I didn't have anyone to talk to me. I knew what was right. I knew where my faith lied. I knew who I needed to run to, but I didn't have someone on the outside to talk to.
Right.
So talking to someone and getting a different perspective of what's going on, and letting that person know how you feel it's totally different, and it helps those teenagers. And then you also get to pour into them things that they're not aware of.
Right.
Like, okay, yeah, you're beautiful.
Right.
Affirmation is something that you need to do. Get up every morning, put on your makeup, girl, turn on your music.
Right.
You know what? And sing to yourself and tell yourself, look, I am beautiful.
Right.
Can't nobody bring me down.
Exactly.
You're not gonna stop me. Look, I'm going for what everything that God has told me that is mine.
Right.
And that is what we have to pour into our youth, because our youth is our future.
Yes.
So yeah.
and it's very important for, boys, they have feelings, but we can't tell, so quick like we can with girls. That they're hurt because they try to, they got to be tough and they this and that. But both sexes, both of them, they go through hurts, and they have to get through that. So I'm encouraging the parents, because we in a whole virtual setup. Take that time with your kids to see if you can help them on the computer.
Right.
Some parents can't. They don't know the material. But are you active in your child's life and tell them, make sure you on here? Are you logged on? Some parents don't even know if their kids logging on. And I have a problem with that. Yeah, they were with us at the school. Some of the kids, parents ready to send them back.
Yeah, they are.
But parents, you had the children. So your responsibility is to make sure that they are logging in, they're getting the best education they can. If you don't know how to help them with the lessons, try to see if someone in your community can.
I'll call the teacher.
It's not just the teacher's job.
Right. It takes everyone.
Yeah,
and we have came away from that. It takes a village to raise a child.
It does. That's right.
And it really does. It honestly does, because I'm not gonna stop you from chastising my child. I'm sorry if he or she is wrong. Then I want you to correct them.
Right.
And that's where we have come away from as to why some of our youth are the way that they are.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And
correcting in love, because children don't understand everything.
Right. You explain.
So you have to explain it and correct it in love, not like, oh, I'm just being mean to you.
Right. And understand that you're going to look, in life we have consequences. If I don't go to work and do my job, what is the consequences?
Right.
I'm going to lose my job. Right. So if we have consequences, you got to give your children consequences.
Yes.
You got to do that. And parents are not doing that. You can't be their friend. And I was saying, after the parent has done all they could virtually and made sure, the hotspot works, and if it's still not working, then call your teacher. But first, be proactive yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Guys, y'all are watching Mind, Body, and Goals. I want to get into, we're going to touch on the injustices with the Breonna Taylor, and all of the people that we've lost. Unnecessarily. So here's one sentence I'm going to say. We do not have the same privileges as other nationalities. Okay? We cannot buck. This is not Breonna Taylor's situation. This is just a broad statement out here. We can't buck the police and think when they stop us, we're going to change something when they at our window. Because, yes, people have been killed wrongfully. People have been shot wrongfully. But what we are not talking about is how did we interact with the police when they came to our window.
Absolutely.
What was said to these people okay, some of them said they felt threatened. Because, we already on edge.
Yes, we are.
We already on edge,
Yes,
right?
Yes, we are.
some of our black men, I get it, because black men have not been afforded the same opportunities. You know,
That's real.
They're the weed and all of this and the marijuana is going and the sales are going up. Why the sales going up, but y'all messing up our black men record for having a little bag in the car?
That is why you should legalize weed. I mean, because if you're gonna do, I mean, I'm just being honest. I mean, I know it's not, right or whatever, but
it'll cut back a whole lot of other issues because that's the root of the issue.
And you keep and you know that those men like weed, and so you refuse to legalize it.
Right.
But if they get caught with it, you gonna put them in jail for what, 10 years and mess up their lives.
Right.
Come
but
on,
you
man.
but you can allow someone to buy alcohol over the counter,
right?
Because it's legal. Honestly,
right.
I understand that it does the same thing to these people, but
as with cigarettes,
right? Exactly.
But here's what I want our community to learn and realize: we're not smart. We're missing it. You see what I'm saying? We're listening to the rap, we're smoking, not being productive, sitting at home while everybody else is going to school, getting degrees, getting certifications, and coming up on us. I just did a show last week that Lee's Nails has been in the black neighborhood for over 30 years, but when we come in there, they got an attitude with us. And I told them, if it wasn't for us, y'all wouldn't have been on this corner. Y'all are in our neighborhood.
True.
Because we support them.
That's true. That's true. and you're right. And let me say this: we do know that there are some millennials that you all are doing the right thing. I need you to understand that. We're talking probably about 1% of kids are the millennials who are not. And what we're saying is this: we know that there are some bad cops and good cops. But let me share this with you. We still need to be respectful. We need to be respectful no matter what. And respect goes both ways. The cops need to respect the community, and the community needs to respect the cops.
Yes.
And quit making some cops that are good paying for what happened to George Floyd and other. It wasn't those cops that did that. It was the actual cops that did wrong.
Right.
Those are the ones. I'm saying that. Now, I agree. We need to get these racist cops out of our departments.
Yeah.
But I need you to understand, all cops are not like that. And if I get you to see that and say, you know what, I'm going to do what's right. And I hear somebody saying already, I did what's right and they still got me. I know that. But they didn't keep you. My daddy told me this. I'll never forget. He said, Net, they go stop you, but make sure everything is lined up where they can't keep you.
Yes.
So that's all I wanted. I want you to know that we're talking because we're mothers.
Right.
And when Brianna got killed, it hurt all of us.
It hurt.
Do they understand? Do you understand? As an African American woman, we are tore up because we are worried about our kids, our sons, our uncles. We're on edge,
and it's forcing us to do things like expose our children to stuff that we would have never exposed our kids to this early.
Right.
Because you have to make your children aware of what is going on.
Right. Sandra Bland really, really hurt, But I guess for me, in that situation, she was a educator. She was a Prairie View, she was an activist. She was working in her community. But we won't ever know the full story to that because the full video was not released. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But her mom and her family kept saying, oh no, she wouldn't have killed herself.
That's right.
After that situation, it was more people they were finding in jails that had killed themselves.
Quote unquote.
Okay? And I'm like, what can we do? What could we do in that aspect? The only thing we can do is go get educated. To learn. Because see, as long as I'm at home drinking it up, smoking it up.
That's true.
Am I learning the law? And how I can get out here?
You are an educator. I know that.
Am I learning the law if I'm wasting my time doing these recreational activities? No. Because Y'all, they putting stuff in the stuff to make you lethargic and get your mind off focus. Okay? Now, if the pressures of your life is that big and hard, I need you to go to your nearest church and find somebody. So, because when you have something like, what is it called? A vice, drugs, the alcohol, and you doing that every day, and you are not making any progress, that's a form of stagnation. Is really a form of witchcraft. We know that we are always trying to wrestle with these evil spirits and forces in the world. So you got to combat that and get up and say, God, help me so I can be productive. I can live nicely. If I die tomorrow, my family don't have to cook no fish dinners to bury me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I try to make light of it, but this is some serious stuff.
Absolutely. I just want you to do better.
We don't want to do fish dinners. I don't want to do a GoFundMe. Somebody should have been educated and been to the school or know in their community that we need insurance.
Life insurance, right.
We need to be healthy. And so when we do die, our family is not trying to get the church to do these dinners. And that's a tough subject, but we don't plan ahead.
Right. Yeah.
And so it starts at where you are, Ashley, where you are, Miss Arnetta, with the kids and the youth. Those preteen ages. What are they looking at? What shows are they watching?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
What apps? To y'all people out here,
total app.
I hope somebody hears this tonight. To y'all people out there destroying these little kids, being pedophiles. Right. I'm talking to you right now.
That's right. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You have a seat waiting for you in the hell that's hotter than hell. Okay. Because when you do that, you're messing up. That's a form of evilness that you're breeding on that child. And if that child don't get out of that and heal from that, that's a bondage that they carry.
Innocent child.
Until they 40, 50, 60 years old.
Innocent.
And they scared to tell somebody. So I'm talking to y'all too, because it takes a community.
She basically telling you to wake up and stop all this foolishness and get yourself together. Period. Point blank.
Y'all, we're going to break right now. You watching Mind, Body, and Goals, and we'll be right back. Please share. Hey guys, you're watching Mind, Body, and Goals. I'm your girl Tiffani R. Singz. I have my special guest tonight, my bestie Ashley Washington, Councilwoman Arnetta Hicks Murray. Guys, we're talking about some heavy stuff tonight. Women in the Black community, in our schools, in our churches. Back to the note about, because I have to.
Go ahead.
I've had people that I've taught way back, tell me that they were violated. Have any of you had in contact with anyone that told y'all that in your jobs?
Yeah, I do it every day. I also work in the SAFE clinic, which is a sexually abused clinic for children from the ages of 2 to 12.
Wow.
So, yeah, I deal with it every day. And some kids are afraid to speak on the fact that they have been molested because of the fear of what happens, or sometimes they're fearful that their parents may not believe them, and that is the main thing. Like, parents, we try to get through to the parents, just sit down and talk to your children. Sometimes 5 minutes can make a huge difference.
Right.
You can discover so much. I discovered so much about these kids in 20 minutes of my time just sitting with them than the doctor does in 30.
Right.
So, I mean, it just takes a little bit of time. But, yes, I encounter that every single day. And that's something that it takes a lot.
It takes a lot. It takes healing. It takes people like you, everyone to pour into them.
Yeah.
Because what I've learned, too, about teaching, that it's not just a profession. You got to really be ministering in that if you really going to touch lives. You could teach somebody English, math, reading all day, and they learn how to read, they learn how to do the math problem, but if you didn't touch their heart, how are they going to change their mindset if they go home to things like that? You know, drugs, different things.
Yeah, absolutely right. When I was at Fort Bend, we took a session called Capturing a Kid's Heart. And so you have to, first, a kid needs to know that you care. And unfortunately, and the good thing about it is that I had a student as well that shared some things with me, and he wanted me not to say anything. And I had to be that listening ear. But I knew my area was limited. But what I did in that limitation, I built him up to let him understand this shouldn't have happened. This is wrong, and I need you not. Yeah, and I don't need you to do the same thing. And he had to trust me, because what if I would have, what did I say?
Broke his trust.
Broke his trust. He would have never came to me again.
Right.
And guess what? When he trusted me, he was able to what? Learn. See, kids, they say kids have behavior. They do, and the reason they have behaviors because there are a lot of adverse situations going on at home.
It is.
Right.
And so if you get to that first, and let's talk about it, and I do that with my kids and my students they would come in my room and I have them journal every morning. What happened? What's going on? So when I would teach them, I knew how to address them. Then they would say, Miss Murray, can I talk to you outside? I had to do that.
Right.
So when when a kid know you care, you are, you can go anywhere with that kid the right way.
Right.
So let me say this: parents, and even single parents. I was thinking at one point, before I had all these kids, we are so focused on getting a man. That energy you're focused on getting a man. Make sure your son be men.
Right.
We are we'll do everything to get a relationship. I had to tell somebody I know that you over here, you focus on this thing over here, but you're not focusing on your own kids.
Right.
You it takes all of us, and you got to set aside your feelings and what you want for your children.
Yes.
You don't have time to be a 50-year-old grandma trying to party.
Right. True. Ooh,
right.
Let me be quiet.
I have someone, Miss Makisha Bridgewater. She said, when you continue to ask for help and no one will help. She had been abused as a child, and people won't help, and then why black women won't support and stand with her for justice and help. So what I'll say to that is, sometimes the women that you go to are not healed or strong enough themselves to stand with you on that kind of thing. Find you someone, because I didn't even know this, Makisha. We can talk. You know what I'm saying? Because if we can't help each other get a voice out there, go to a counselor.
And nothing is wrong with
is wrong with going to a counselor and talk. Buki and your cousin Buki ain't a counselor.
No, they're not.
Okay?
No, they're not.
They're not.
Hennessy ain't your counselor.
Come on, Hennessy.
Okay? Whatever what's the Ciroc ain't your counselor.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Pills ain't your counselor.
Dime bag ain't your counselor, honey.
That's not your counselor. Jesus.
I know a counselor.
Okay.
Come on.
God, whoever you want to call him. Okay, that's your counselor,
Yes.
and the medically trained and licensed
Come on.
doctors is your counselor.
You preach and sing, huh?
That's who we need to be talking to. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, you're right.
Can I get counseling from somebody who's smoking it up every day?
No, ma'am.
No.
No, ma'am.
See, sometimes, you know, those people, and that back to the black women supporting. Oh, we just said it. Miss Councilwoman just said it. Some folks will see you looking good and won't say a word.
And that's not good. That's not
Because they are broken inside. You said it. They're broken
People
inside.
cannot heal
good. Hurt people hurt
anybody.
You know
people
what
that bleed,
you know
they
what?
bleed on hurt people.
You know
bleed
what
on other
I
people.
hate? Why do folks sit up and talk about people, but you won't go to them and try to help them?
Why?
You know, what is it within you that makes you feel great? Because you feel like this person is beneath you because they don't have this or they don't look like this. But that's not what God told us to do. So to all you people saying I'm a Christian,
Say that. Come on.
okay, I'm ministering to folks.
Minister right now. Go ahead. Right in the camera.
But you talking about folks
That's right.
and won't help them
Won't help them.
because you want to seem like you're on top.
Right.
See, listen, a lot of folks don't like me anyway. So that's why I'm talking real on this show.
you
You're
can.
unliked. You
I've
are
lost
loved.
some I've lost some friends
They went your
because
friends
I open my mouth to sing and folks stop talking to me.
And not saying that you could. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it turns into a competition right away. God gave me this gift.
That's right. That's right.
But I don't walk around. You know me.
Yeah.
You know me.
Yeah. Oh, no.
I could walk around like some folk in Houston
You been
where they notes, some of their notes go flat, but few of mine don't. You see what I'm saying? That's just the real about it.
Right.
Because people want to seem like they're doing more than you, or they don't want to build you up because she might try to be more than me.
But they don't understand when they build you up.
Right.
You get built up.
Right.
That's the real. When you start complimenting others and saying, you know what, you sing well. Or when she came in, I'm always about seeing the good in people, because it is so easy to tear somebody. Let me say this: I am so sick of manipulative, lying, messy people, jealous people. I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
It's got to stop.
Right.
And I'm talking about in our community.
So this is, and we're on this, y'all, and y'all can chime in. We had the monumental marches all over the world.
Yes. It was, yeah.
For George Floyd.
Yeah.
It was great. It was very great, guys. I was very moved. But I have a problem.
What's your problem?
Our cousin in the family, our sister, our brothers have gone through things, and we didn't march for them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
And I'm not talking about physically marching. We didn't spiritually and mentally march for them.
That's a good point.
But we got out here and risked our lives for somebody we really didn't know. Some other people knew him, okay? But most of the people didn't know George Floyd till they saw that video.
Right. That's true.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Which it was it was a movement. It was we're marching to get justice. I get that. But you got folks in their own families. Their cousin went through something, their brother went through something, or even somebody around the corner went through something. And they didn't march for them. Because we're marching for somebody that's already dead. But who are you marching for that's still living?
My.
Right.
Yeah. That's and you know what? That's an excellent point. And what are we going to do about that? Even sometimes it goes from the church. You have people at church that are hurting. And you see real clear who's doing the hurt, but you won't even address it. You won't say anything, and then when you try to even bring it up, that's not my problem. Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's
if you're a
yours.
minister, it is. That's number one. And then with your family, with people that are hurting. For example, I'm thinking about human trafficking. I know Reverend Wendy Turner. you're hurting in that area, she is advocating for you. She's out there. There are resources. Now, sometimes you guys are silent and don't say anything, but you have resources, and we are here to. I think we're 3 resources right here.
Yeah.
All you have to do is I am a woman of my word.
Right.
I know what it feels like to be bullied, overlooked, put down, somebody, you know, trying to violate. I know what it means,
Right.
but I know you can overcome it. Right. So anyway,
what do you want to share, just to our women of the community, how to get through tough times? And I know we have a lot of hats as moms and wives.
To get through tough times, as realistic as I can say it, pray.
Right.
There's nothing else to do besides pray. When that time gets tough, you can talk to people, you can let someone who you trust know what is going on with you, bring in a supportive friend, and pray. Don't try to get through it yourself, because it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
You can't do it alone. I just recently faced this same issue.
Right.
Like, I had to open up to my friend because I know it's something that I can't do by myself.
Right.
I know I need the support of her. I need her no matter what. Like,
yeah,
I need her, and I need God.
And I need you too. We all need
And
somebody.
And it helps for us to, like they said, lift each other up and build one another up, and you too will be built up.
Right.
That's beautiful.
Awesome. Lord have, thank you.
But you got 1 minute, okay? And it's so clear. I have 4. I call the crew. It's Latanya, it's Valencia, it's Lisa, and it's Kim, and then Shanitria. You have to have somebody that will pray for you. And and Mr. Price, you got to have somebody to pray, but you got to pray for yourself. I believe you got to meditate with God every day, an hour in the morning and an hour at night. And not only you pray to Him and talk to Him, but let Him talk to you in your silence. And when you do that, He will give you discernment. He'll give you power, because we cannot do nothing on this earth by ourselves.
Right.
I'm done.
Thank y'all, ladies. This has been an awesome time. I really am happy. Like, this was a great dialogue tonight. We're going to be having more ladies chat. Stay tuned. We got some things coming up. You're watching Mind, Body, and Goals. Food for your soul. And I'm Tiffani R. Singz. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.